A couple of years ago, I reviewed DreamWorks' Kung Fu Panda and its two sequels. After having some spin off series on Netflix and Prime Video, Poe is back in Kung Fu Panda 4, now playing in theaters. But is this new sequel worthy of continuing the franchise? Or should this have ended with the last one and just left this with a quick skadoosh? Find out in this spoiler free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Joel, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the just now released martial arts comedy flick, well, animated martial arts comedy flick, that is, Kung Fu Panda 4, released by Universal for DreamWorks Animation, the fourth installment of the Kung Fu Panda franchise as it returns to theaters after it's been 8 years since we last saw Kung Fu Panda 3. Directed by Mike Mitchell and co-directed by Stephanie Mostein in our feature directorial debut, written by Darren Lemke and the writing team of Jonathan Abel and Glenn Berger, produced by Rebecca Huntley. Now, it features returning voice actors Jack Black, Dustin Hoffman, James Hong, Bryan Cranston, and Ian McShane reprising roles from previous films, along with Awkwafina, Huy Quan, Ronnie Ching, Lori Chin, and Viola Davis join the film. In this film, Poe, who must find and train a successor as the new Dragon Warrior, teams up with a fox bandit named Zen to defeat the evil sorceress, the Chameleon. Now then, I am going to say we start out with seeing Poe helping his fathers, Mr. Ping and Lee, open their new restaurant when Master Shifu tells him that he must advance to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, meaning that he will not be the Dragon Warrior anymore and must find a suitable candidate to be a successor. Excuse me. Poe struggles to choose candidates and catches a thief named Zen trying to steal ancient weapons and sends her to prison, but learns from some goats that Tai Lung has returned. You may know that character, the villain from the first film, but soon learns that his return was masqueraded by the Chameleon, a powerful sorceress that can shapeshift into any animal she wants. While initially reluctant to let Zen help him, but wanting to go on one last adventure as the Dragon Warrior, Poe heads to Juniper City with Zen as Mr. Ping and Lee, terrified what might happen to their son, trail behind them. Well, the fun really begins when Poe and Zen get into all sorts of craziness and what have you, just like the last film and the other films and what have you. Well, I am going to say with the addition of Zen, I am going to say she's a pretty funny character. Now then, my thoughts on this, I like the cast and what have you. Jack Black still good as Poe. Dustin Hoffman as Master Shifu still pretty good. James Hong as Mr. Ping and Bryan Cranston as Li Shan. They were all pretty good. Ian McShane returns from the first film as Tai Lung. He was really good. Now, for our new cast, we have Awkwafina as Zen, who is pretty funny and what have you. I really will say Awkwafina does one heck of a job on this character, as she had more recently lent her voice to one of the characters in one of DreamWorks' recent hit films, The Bad Guys. Huy Quan, you may remember Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And of course, you saw him make a big comeback in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I almost forgot he was popular in the Goonies back in the 80s as well. Oops, sorry. And more recently, we've seen him in the second season of Loki on Disney Plus. He does the voice of Han, Sunda Pangolan, who is a leader of a den of thieves. I must say he was good. Lori Tan Chin voices Granny Boar, a boar who can take out her tusks and use them as weapons. Wow. Ronnie Chang, who I remember him from Megan and Doogie Kamealoa, MD, and several others, voices Captain Fish, a green Arawa, if I mispronounced that, I apologize, that lives in a pelican's mouth, who is his stepmother. Anyway, the cast isn't too bad, a little shorter than the rest of the films, but overall, he's still fine. It's still fine and what have you. Now, so far, the film's not getting too well of reviews. This is at a mere 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes it the only film in the franchise not to reach certified fresh like its three predecessors. Which, of course, I should point out if you have not seen my reviews of those, I'll leave them for you. I think you may have seen the card and what have you earlier, and you can check them out. Anyway, according to Rotten Tomatoes, they say the film offers enough eye-catching entertainment to sustain the franchise's young fans, although it's starting to feel like the series is running out of steam. Well, in a way it is, and what have you. Now, the Hollywood Reporter said with its new sayings and characters, including Oscar winner Huy Quan as a pangolin leader of a den of thieves and Ryan Ching as a fish that lives in a pelican's mouth, the film clearly aims to refresh the franchise, but it's really more the same, which is not such a bad thing when you consider that the series has grossed some $1.8 billion so far, and that's not including the spin off projects, including various television series and video games. Its appeal still lies largely in Black's hilarious vocal performance, which has lost none of its charm. I completely agree and what have you. And I'm just going to say that this was just so good. We have Hans Zimmer back on board to score this. Now, and joining him for this round is Steve Mazzaro. Since Zimmer had composed the music for the previous film alone and with John Powell for the first two films, but this time he got Steve Mazzaro to co-compose with him. Now then, its reviews were pretty good for its voice performances. Its animation's very good as well, and the action sequences are good too. Now, some criticism was directed towards the story and what have you. Well, true, the story may have a little bit of issues and what have you, but it's not too bad of a miss for me though. I think the story's fine, what have you, because it just follows some pretty good characters. Which, by the way, that's another negative these people have, and this is kind of a negative I have with this and what have you. The absence of the Furious Five, which I won't tell you what they'll do. You're just gonna have to see the movie and what have you. So, anywho, yeah, but they are referencing this, and they do make a special appearance at the end as we hear an outrageous all new kick ass Take a Baby One More Time, Britney Spears' breakout hit, as performed by Mr. Black himself, along with his colleague Kyle Gass as Tenacious D, which I thought was pretty good. Why I never could dream that Jack Black and Kyle Gass as Tenacious D could ever tackle the Britsters' breakout hit, but that's really cool. So anyway, yeah. Now then, they're they're about the and on the so I'm gonna say with the absence of some of those characters and even some of the pandas we get to see, from aside the from Li Shan, could have seen a little bit more of them, but that's okay. Anyway, recently in December of last year, Mitchell and Huntley were asked on if CEO of DreamWorks, Jeffrey Katzenberg's original plan would still be carried out, to which Mitchell said that Kung Fu Panda 4 may launch a new trilogy if no one gets tired of seeing Jack Black return as Poe. While Huntley affirmed that the filmmakers behind this film focused on making it the franchise's greatest film yet, and that whether sequels will be made is something to discuss later. So, well, in 2010, well, this was even before this and what have you. Katzenberg officially confirmed that the series could see two more sequels after the fourth one, bringing it to a six-film series, which that would make it longer than any other franchise that, well, they have, aside, well, being out even Shrek and Madagascar. But anyway, I'm not sure what this is gonna be like. I wish him the best of luck and what have you. So anyway, Kung Fu Panda, well, despite missing some big main characters and what have you, but with a fair story, good direction and what have you, a great set of characters, old and new, great action sequences, and great animation, and even good music and a score. I'm going to say Kung Fu Panda is not too bad at all. I don't care what they say. I think this film is worth looking into. So for my score, I'm going to give Kung Fu Panda 4.5 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 9.5. It's just that if the Furious 5 was in this would have easily gone a 10. And, well, since some of the story was kind of a little. And, well, I don't really want to talk about it because if I say any more, it'll ruin this spoiler free review. So, enough said. So what did you think of Kung Fu Panda 4? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews of the most recent films from DreamWorks Animation. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Trolls Band Together. Or check out my review for the recent hit from Universal in Illumination in Migration. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.